Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Hype, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the people's champion, your host, welcome back to Baseball Hype. Hopefully you like this video and hit that subscribe button. I want to talk about the All-Star game. I don't know if I'm talking about it here, but I thought it was interesting, some of the people that were selected for the game and certain people that weren't selected from the game. And obviously we know that Mets only had one representative this year, and that's Pete Alonso. Now, this is nothing against Pete. This video is not about Pete. It's nothing negative about Pete. But Pete didn't really deserve to go to the All-Star game, quite frankly. I don't think his first half was really that great of a first half. It's been okay. Nothing special. I mean, there have been other years where he deserved to go. He did not deserve to go this year. I had done a video the other day talking about Nimmo. That Nimmo should have gotten in. Should have been selected. I also thought that over the last few days, I thought that Francisco Lindor also should go. And I'm not the biggest fan of Lindor. I'm very tough on him, been very critical, but he's played really well. He's played great since the Mets put him at the leadoff spot. He wasn't really a three-hitter, and I think we see that now. He is a leadoff hitter. He's not a number three hitter. These are guys, Nimmo and Lindor, are the best the Mets have in terms of just as men. They're good guys, from what I can tell. They have pretty good reputations in baseball. You don't hear anything bad about them. Lindor's never made an all-star team. I mean, Nimmo's never made an all-star team, excuse me. Lindor has made an all-star team when he was with the Indians, when they were the Indians. And you have two guys that had very good first halves. I mean, Brandon Nimmo, for his career, has had a OPS over 800, OPS plus of 130, and he's had a very good first half. He leads the Mets in RBI. He's gonna drive in over 100 RBIs this year. Who would have thought that? Who would have thought that? Nobody. Francisco Lindor has the most stolen bases and most home runs by a shortstop in the history of the Mets. And 15 home runs and 15 stolen bases. He's got a good chance to get 30-30 again. His defense has gotten much better over the last few weeks, but I didn't think his defensive year has been all that great. I think he's picked it up since they moved him to the leadoff spot. But those guys are worthy to get in. We want to see Major League Baseball represent the best of their profession, the best of this league. And we're not seeing that in this game. I'll go through the lineups a little bit, just the National League. Most of these, there's no issues. William Contreras behind the plate, the starters. Bryce Harper at first, Ketel Marte, Alec Bohm, Trey Turner, Jackson Profar, Fernando Tatis Jr., Christian Yelich, Shohei Ohtani. No problems here. In terms of the starters, no problems at all. Really, to me, there's no problems with the starters. Let's go to the National League's reserves. Go to the pitching. Tyler Glasnow, Ryan Helsley, Jeff Hoffman, Shota Imanaga, Ronaldo Lopez, Chris Sale, Tanner Scott, Paul Skeens, pitched last year in college, pitched in the College World Series, won a College World Series last year. One of the real big baseball sensations. Matt Strahm, Ranger Suarez, Robert Suarez, Logan Webb, Zach Wheeler. I mean, really a heavy Philadelphia Philly contingent. At the position players, this is where we have a problem, at least in the National League. That's for sure. And then I'll get into this momentarily. Here's the infielders for the National League. C.J. Abrams, with Nationals, Pete Alonso, like I said. And again, Pete didn't deserve it. And I'm a Met fan. I'm a big fan of Pete's. Luis Arias, the hitting sensation in San Diego. Mookie Betts. Ellie De La Cruz, no problem. Freddie Freeman, no problem. Brian McMahon, no problem. In the outfield, Teoscar Hernandez, Jackson Merrill, Helio Ramos of the Giants, Brian Reynolds of the Pirates. No problems here. No problems here at all, quite frankly. Now we have a problem. The designated hitter, Marcel Ozuna. And he's making his third All-Star appearance. Let me read to you what they have here talking about him. Were it not for Ohtani's usual brilliance, Ozuna would have comfortably been the top option at designated hitter in the National League. Ozuna has driven in the third most runs in the majors, is tied for fourth with 23 home runs, and ranks seventh among qualifying hitters with a 164 WRC+. Okay, in terms of the numbers, he deserves to be there. However, there's a big but and however. He's also going to participate in the Home Run Derby, and they wrote this lovey-dovey article on Marcel Ozuna. This is, again, from MLB.com. This is Major League Baseball. Ozuna looks to become Braves' first Home Run Derby champ. Let me tell you who wrote this. Mark Bowman. The Big Bear will attempt to roar. This is what they call him. This is his nickname. The Big Bear will attempt to roar during this year's T-Mobile Home Run Derby. The Braves Marcel Ozuna announced he will be one of the 8 participants in next week's Derby, which will be shown live on ESPN at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on July 15th, a week from now. This will be the first Home Run Derby for Ozuna, who earned his second career All-Star selection and first since 2017 on Sunday. It's weird they said third, I don't know. The remainder of the 8-player field will be announced as this week progresses. Ozuna joins the Orioles' Gunnar Henderson, the Mets' Pete Alonso, the Phillies' Alex Bohm, and Royals' Bobby Witt Jr. as players who have committed to the event so far. Well, this is so wonderful. I tell you, Major League Baseball certainly know how to highlight the best of their sport. This is a guy who was arrested twice. He was arrested in 2021 for strangling his wife during a dispute. And you can see the photos here in this video. And, of course, his mug shot. And he did not, I guess, I don't know, he played no contest or whatever. He did not serve any time, but he did serve time in a suspension. By Major League Baseball, they suspended him for 20 games. Is this the kind of guy you want at your All-Star game? Meanwhile, you have two citizens, two guys that seem to have be very close to their families. Or we ever see Francisco Lindor show on social media pictures of his wife, pictures of his daughters, and just shows himself to be a wonderful family man and a man of God, I suppose. And then we have Brandon Nimmo, who basically, I don't think he's ever cursed in his life. And these are two guys that are deserving of this. Now, if you're a Braves fan coming in here, complaining that I'm being salty, whatever that means, you are rooting for a guy that has had 2 arrests in his life. 1, he strangled his wife. And 2, a year later, he got caught drinking and driving. When the cops caught him, and there's a famous video of him trying to get out of it, telling the cops that he's Ozuna, Atlanta Braves. So he's trying to get out of it. He wasn't that drunk. He tried to get out of it. He tried to, wave the celebrity card at the cops. That didn't work. He got arrested for drinking and driving. So you have a player who Major League Baseball is highlighting, who they want during one of the biggest events that they have during the All-Star game. Is the Home Run Derby. The Home Run Derby is one of the biggest things, aside from the game, that we've been watching for the last 30 years. And they're putting this guy out front, so everybody in the country can see how wonderful baseball is. And meanwhile, some of the best citizens in the game that have had good years, who deserve to get to the All-Star game, aren't there. Maybe some guys will back out of the All-Star game. Maybe Brandon Nimmo will get in. Maybe Francisco Lindor gets in because Mookie Betts can't play because he's still hurt. Maybe. But they had a choice. And I will say this. Major League Baseball don't like the Mets. They don't like us. If you're a Met fan, they hate us. And I bring that up because we see example after example after example over the years of how we get hammered all the time. We saw this sort of recent thing of Edwin Diaz Edwin Diaz didn't get the benefit of the doubt. He didn't have a chance to go back into the dugout and wash his hands and then come out and pitch. We saw that with many Yankees 3 times with the Yankees in the last year or two, where Yankees were given the opportunity to go back in the dugout, wash their hands, and come back out and pitch. Domingo Germán, last year, pitched a game in New York. His hands were sticky. They told him, go in the dugout and wash your hands. He did. He had the ability to pitch. A few weeks later, he pitched a perfect game. Probably the most unnoteworthy perfect games in the history of baseball. No one says, well, maybe it's because his hands were sticky. No one even thought that. I did. But then a few weeks later, he's starting a game, and they checked him again, and they threw him out because his hands were sticky. Nobody ever said, was his hands so sticky that he was juicing the baseball when he no-hit the A's that day? Of course not. No one's ever going to say that. I'll say it. You know. So we see the inconsistency of how Major League Baseball treats us. 2015, Chase Utley basically destroyed Ruben Tejada's career by taking his leg out. Major League Baseball should have had a duty to suspend Utley for that entire playoff series. A year later, when the Mets played the Dodgers, Noah Syndergaard, everybody in the ballpark knew Noah was going to throw at Utley. He threw one pitch close to Utley. Noah got thrown out. Why? It would have been settled. But Major League Baseball hate the Mets. They do nothing. When the Mets complained last year, in the last 2 years, they were being thrown at. Major League Baseball did nothing about it. They did nothing about it. And now you see this situation where a guy that strangled his wife, and you've seen the pictures I showed you for a moment. Nothing. He is rewarded. He's rewarded by that. Major League Baseball in the Hall of Fame has a character clause. Shouldn't there be a character clause for All-Star game? It should be. Because if it was, this guy would not make it. But Major League Baseball don't care. They're hypocrites. And that's just how it is. Well, you let me know what you think about this video. You won't see this anywhere else. Every other YouTuber will not address this like this. They'll not do a compare and contrast. You got a couple guys. You got one guy running the first base when he gets a walk, and another guy strangling his wife. You got another guy kissing his kids, loving his wife, and you got this guy strangling his wife. That says it all. This is a Mets channel, but it's also it's called the Baseball Hut. It's not called the Mets Hut. It's called the Baseball Hut, first and foremost. Well, anyway, if you're not on X, you're not on Facebook, even if you are on there, subscribe to the Baseball Hut. You'll get stuff here. This is better than anything you'll get. Even in the mainstream, they won't talk about this. They're too afraid. They talk about the Me Too movement, bullshit. They're too afraid to deal with this because they're just afraid. I'm not. I'll say it like it is. Well, thank you for watching this video. And, of course, please subscribe to the Baseball Hut, and I'll see you later.